The new Fable game has faced some absolutely massive backlash over the past couple of years since its announcement, and it has already been delayed multiple times. Now, it's supposed to be releasing into 2026. That is the last date that Microsoft gave us, but it seems that after all of the recent layoffs that have gone on and the general chaos that's been going on at Xbox, that might not happen. So it says we've waited for a long time for Fable to return, and we might have to wait even further if this new rumor is to be believed. While Xbox and Playground Games had initially planned on a 2026 release for the game, a new report from the industry insider Shepsel Nick suggests that the game may not arrive until 2027. Now, over the past couple of weeks, there's been a lot going on with Xbox slash Microsoft, right? We've seen them backtrack on the $80 game plan because The Outer Worlds 2 was supposed to be $80 for the holiday season. They decided to go back down to 70. Of course, they wanted to paint themselves as if they're actually listening to gamers and they're the good guys when really they're not. They were the greedy ones who, in the first place, decided on it going to 80, but regardless, they had to backtrack on that. We've seen thousands upon thousands of people laid off, and those people have come out and said that Microsoft's an absolute shit show right now, and they want to invest more in AI, which isn't particularly shocking, but unfortunately for the people who are excited for a lot of the games that they're producing, it could be even longer of a wait time for some of them to release. Games like Fable might be pushed aside in terms of priority. They might not get as much money as they expected. Teams could be laid off and shrunk even further. But according to the report, the latest delay isn't because of any internal crisis or development failure, but just the need for a little more time to deliver on the promise of the game. It has already been delayed before. They had already planned to release it 2025, then they pushed it off to 2026. Now it seems like it could even be 2027. This to me does scream development hell. They can say that it's not because of any internal crisis, but from the outside looking in, we can already see that they are facing a lot of problems over at Xbox. A lot of projects are being canceled. Hell, I wouldn't even be surprised if at this point Fable was canceled. I know they'd already shown this trailer, but take into consideration they did the same exact thing with Perfect Dark. They had shown off a Perfect Dark trailer with combat, with a little bit of exploration, showing off the world, and then developers came out and said, yeah, it was basically just a fake trailer. We put together specific clips and made specific areas to highlight. It wouldn't be shocking if they did the same exact thing with Fable when they first showed it off. And this game has faced so much backlash already that I don't even know if it's a good decision for them to continue forward with it. I'll go and show the ratios in a second, but it says, that's great and all, but by 2027, the game will have been in development for nearly a decade. It is insane the amount of time that it takes to make a game now. We're talking about Dragon Age the Veilguard time. Listen, Dragon Age the Veilguard looked like it was made in 3 years with maybe a $50 million budget, and we're talking about triple A's, so that is abysmal. I think that for double A studios, right, they can stretch $50 million a hell of a long way, like Clair Obscure Expedition 33, but regardless, for a studio of that size, right, Veilguard was a disaster, and while this Fable trailer does look pretty, it doesn't look nearly a decade in development pretty. I don't have that much hype at all whatsoever. We already forgive Rockstar Games for such shenanigans, but at least we know they'll deliver. Will Xbox deliver? It says the new rumor comes from Xbox Era's co-host, who shared on a recent podcast that he's now heard from 2 sources that Fable may slip into 2027. That's not odd doom and gloom with the game problems, just hearing that it's taking a little bit longer than expected. How fucking long do you need? Is a decade not enough? How much longer? The crazy part about this potential delay is how long Fable has already been in the oven. Playground Games began development as early as late 2017, with the first rumors about the reboot emerging in early 2018. By the time 2027 rolls around, the project will have gone through a full decade of development, and of course, back in 2020, Microsoft teased Fable alongside Infinite, Everwild, Perfect Dark, and a new Forza. We know that Forza is basically dead. Perfect Perfect Dark is completely dead. Halo Infinite, they haven't really fully developed, and Everwilds was canceled. So the next on the chopping block would be Fable. And taking into consideration, like I had mentioned, how much backlash there was surrounding this game, I don't even really know if it would be financially viable for them to launch it at this point. I get that they've already developed a lot of it, so maybe they'll just feel like, oh, we need to keep pushing forward with it, though I don't think that this is going to make the money they probably want. So this was the upload on GameSpot, Fable official trailer, Xbox Game Showcase 2024. It's got 18,000 likes to 34,000 dislikes. And heading on over to the GameSpot trailer from 2 years ago at the Xbox Game Showcase 2023, 26,000 likes to 63,000 dislikes. So every single time these trailers are uploaded and they try to promote this game, it gets wrecked by gamers. People are sick and tired of companies saying, oh, we need more development time, while they try to get us hyped, because that's not what happens. All you're doing is disappointing people time and time again. And my expectations are really low for Fable. And I know a lot of other people feel the same exact way, but I still don't want them to fuck it up, right? I want them to come out and make a good Fable game. I want every single game, in theory, to be a really great release and for it to be really fun and exciting, but you just can't trust them anymore. It's clear as day that they don't really care about people's feedback. They just care about, like, barreling forward with the plans they already have, even if people ultimately say, well, this doesn't seem like a great idea. They had also showed off the Fable pre-alpha gameplay 5 months ago. This one isn't getting ratioed negatively. It's at 16,000 likes to 12,000 dislikes, but this doesn't look bad for pre-alpha footage. I just still don't believe that this is actually a full game, given what we found out about something like Perfect Dark, and that this is kind of becoming an industry standard to basically tease something and show something off and then potentially cancel something if the hype is not there, if there's not enough hype. And even in this comment section, despite it being positively ratioed, it's still filled with people saying, is this going to be good? Will you guys actually deliver? And what systems are going to be in the game? Wait a minute, the game was announced in 2017 and it's in pre-alpha stage in 2025. Yeah, it's absolutely freaking crazy. I think that the art direction could be a little bit more stylized. They announced the game while it was still in alpha. They're announcing games way too early now, man. I mean, they announced this game years and years and years ago, and it doesn't seem to be moving along very quickly. We are getting GTA 6 before Fable. Pretty freaking insane. How can this game still be in pre-alpha when it was announced 4 years ago? Never mind the years before that it was in development. After all this time has passed, we could only get a 52-second video. I see the person who designed Tosh from Failguard also designed this character as well. So I'll be keeping my eye on this game as it progresses. Maybe they'll end up canceling it, who knows? But right now, it's not sounding very positive for the Fable fans out there, because according to new reports, there are several insiders saying, yeah, this game is nowhere close to being done and it might be delayed to 2027. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.